All right, so we're diving deep today into something really cool.
Yeah,
Podcasts for English learning.
absolutely.
But we're not talking about just, you know, throwing on a podcast while you're doing the dishes or whatever.
Right.
We're talking about using podcasts strategically
Yes,
to like really level up your English.
exactly.
And I've been looking into this.
Okay.
And some of the things I've been reading about just have me blown away.
Yeah, well, there's some really interesting research out there about how
Oh, yeah.
powerful podcasts can be for language learning,
It's amazing.
and even how they can actually rewire your brain
No kidding.
for language acquisition.
Rewire your brain, huh?
Yeah,
That's pretty intense.
it is.
So I think a lot of people listen to podcasts these days. I mean, I do.
Yeah,
But I don't think that most people are using them specifically to learn English.
right.
So where do we even begin with this?
Well, I think one of the best places to start is with podcasts that are made for English learners.
Okay, so like
You know, they kind of break down.
specifically designed for...
Yeah, they break down the grammar and
Yeah.
the vocabulary, and they speak slowly and clearly.
Right.
So it's a good way to kind of get your feet wet.
Yeah, build a foundation.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So then once you feel comfortable with that,
Yeah.
you can start listening to podcasts that are made for native speakers.
Okay, so like what?
Like, I don't know, like a British comedy podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Or an American science podcast.
Interesting.
Something like that.
Okay, so we're graduating from English learner podcasts to like native speaker podcasts.
Like leveling up.
Okay, but isn't that a huge jump?
Well, it can be,
Yeah.
but that's where active listening comes in.
Active listening.
Yeah, so instead of just passively listening,
Right.
you're really trying to engage with the material.
Okay, so how do we do that?
There are a lot of different ways you can do it, but one really effective technique is called shadowing. Yeah, so you basically listen to the podcast and you repeat what the speaker is saying.
Oh, so like I'm doing a voiceover.
Exactly.
Oh, interesting.
And that helps you to really focus on the pronunciation
Okay, I get it.
and the intonation.
Cool.
Another thing you can do is focus on one specific aspect of the language.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe you're really trying to improve your vocabulary,
Right.
so you could listen for new words.
Okay.
Or maybe you're trying to understand different accents,
Uh-huh.
so you could listen to a podcast from a specific region.
Cool. So I'm actively listening.
Right.
Maybe I'm shadowing.
Yep.
What else can I do to really get the most out of this?
Transcripts.
Transcripts. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So a transcript is basically a written version of the podcast.
Okay.
So you can read along as you're listening,
Uh,
and that can really help you to understand what you're hearing.
oh,
Especially if there are any words or phrases that you don't understand, you
Yeah.
can just look them up.
makes sense.
And you can also use the transcript to analyze the sentence structure
Okay.
and the grammar.
So it's like having a word for word breakdown
Exactly. It's like X-ray vision.
for the language.
Right.
So in one of the articles I was reading, it mentioned comparing your summary of the episode
Yes.
to the transcript.
That's a great exercise.
Okay.
How does that work? So you listen to the episode,
Mm-hmm.
and then you try to summarize it in your own words
Yeah.
without looking at the transcript.
Got it.
And then once you've done that,
Yeah.
you compare your summary to the transcript
Oh,
and see
great.
how you did.
I see.
And that can really help you to identify any areas where you need to improve your listening comprehension.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's also a good way to improve your writing skills
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that.
because you're basically practicing writing in English.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So we've talked about choosing the right podcasts.
Yeah.
We've talked about active listening.
Right.
We've talked about transcripts.
Yep.
Anything else?
Repetition.
Repetition. Okay. So like listening to the same episode
Yeah, exactly.
more than once.
More than once.
Okay, but that sounds kind of boring.
Well, it doesn't have to be.
Really?
Think about it like watching your favorite movie multiple times.
Oh.
You know, you always notice new things.
Mhm.
You understand the jokes better.
Right.
And it's the same with podcasts.
Yeah.
When you listen to an episode multiple times,
Yeah.
you pick up on new vocabulary.
Yeah.
You understand the idioms better.
Okay.
And it just helps to really solidify the language in your long-term memory.
All right. So let me paint a picture here.
Okay.
So you know somebody's on their way to work.
Right.
They're listening to an English learning podcast.
Yep.
They're shadowing some phrases.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, they review the transcript.
Yeah,
They take some notes.
exactly.
They'll rinse and repeat.
And that's how you make progress.
Yeah. So it's like having a personal English tutor
It is.
on demand.
That's the beauty of it.
That is really amazing.
And it's free.
It's free.
And you can do it anywhere.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm curious, what part of English learning are you most excited about enhancing through podcasts?
I think for me, it's the accents.
The accents.
Yeah, I love listening to different accents.
Me too.
And podcasts are a great way to do that.
You can travel the world through language.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
All right, so to our listeners out there,
Yeah.
I challenge you to think about what part of English learning excites you the most
Absolutely.
and find some podcasts
Yes.
that really get you fired up.
That spark your curiosity.
Spark your curiosity
Yeah.
and ignite your learning journey.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
All right, until next time,
See ya.
happy learning, everybody.
Hi.